Hi everyone, so I'm doing the reading for the solar month of Virgo 2015. I'm drawing the cards a little bit early this time around. I just feel really inspired to, not really sure why. Maybe the Venus retrograde, but at any rate, I decided I'm going to go with my intuition and do that. The Osha deck card is Beyond Illusion, which is 20 of Major Arcana. Very beautiful card. So this is a general reading for everyone. Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea, Four of Wands, Delight, and the White Eagle Medicine Wheel deck. Card is Ant, reversed. Okay, okay, I'm back. Where to begin? Alright, I'm going to do a quick little look at the cards here and tell you what I see as the underlying essence of these cards. Each card has yellow in it, and I see it, it's more subtle than the other spreads that I've done, and having an essence. The essence itself is a little more subtle, but they all have yellow. It's kind of a peaceful energy, yet not a hermit type peaceful, not like a actionless peaceful. There's some action going on here. But yellow is a color that's pretty interesting. It is a fire color. It is a hot color, yellow, orange, red. But unlike orange and red, it's the most mellow out of those. Orange and red are very vibrant, very lively, very action-oriented, very go. Yellow is more of a warm energy than it is hot, like orange and red. Okay, it's more of a warm energy, joy, happiness, like the sunlight. And yellow also has to do with creativity, with your intellect, it relates to your solar plexus and your third chakra. Those are the colors for your solar plexus and your third chakra. I do see those as two separate things. The Manipura, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but the third chakra and the solar plexus is two separate things. But yellow is the color for both of those, or a color for both of those. And I definitely see some things having to do with that area, those chakras, that chakra, and that energy center. So very interesting. All right, where to start? I got a very distinctive, specific message in regards to love and relationships, which is very cool. I got another message having to do with how we, what's this card? I got another message having to do with our perception and our dream world and our waking life, our reality, and how the two harmonize and work together. I got another message having to do with time and speed in our lives and working with others and how we are relating to others. It's very Virgo-like to do this, to have each card having a very specific message, to have it separated out like that. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on astrologically and what Virgo is all about, because it plays into this month's reading, plays into what's going on. So I'm not really sure whether I should just do that first or just do the reading and see how it comes out. But I'm going to say something about Virgo to begin with anyway. Virgo is very detail-oriented. Virgo, there's zodiac signs assigned to body parts. Okay, so Aries rules over the head, Scorpio the sexual organs, and there's very specific reasons for these. It makes a lot of sense. Gemini's arms and legs, I think, as well. Actually, Sagittarius is legs, so maybe Gemini's just arms. Virgo rules over the digestive system. And this is because Virgo is very much about sorting things out, organizing things, putting them in order, getting rid of what's not needed, and taking what is useful and organizing it and working it so that it can be put to use, which is what our digestive systems do when they're functioning properly. Venus is in retrograde and has been in retrograde from July 25th through September 8th this year. Venus is in retrograde. But this reading is from August 23rd to September 22nd, 2015. So I said that it's, in retrograde from July 25th to September 8th. But there's shadow periods before and after. And so pretty much this month, this solar month that I'm doing the reading for, Venus is going to be retrograde and in shadow. And Venus rules our values, along with beauty and a couple other things. So Venus is going to be working in harmony this month with the Sun being in Virgo, and Jupiter also being in Virgo. Because Venus going retrograde is asking us and giving us a lot of opportunities to reevaluate our values and to look at them in a different light, from a different perspective, to see things that we haven't been able to see before in relation to our values and how we are living in relation to that, whether we're in alignment with our values or not, and what our true values are. So it's doing a little, reevaluating, revising, tweaking, that kind of thing, so that when it goes direct, it'll be fresh and ready for a new phase. It's like going back and editing before moving on. So that's pretty interesting, I think. With Jupiter being in Virgo, Jupiter is in each sign for about a year. Jupiter moved into Virgo on August 11th, so it's just starting out in Virgo. But I think by looking at these cards, I think that we're going to start feeling the effect of that shift already. Now Jupiter is benevolence. It's people call it luck. I don't believe in luck. I believe in fortune. There's a difference. Luck is something that would be random and just happens to you, good or bad, which makes you completely powerless. Fortune is something that you co-create with the universe. So it's taking responsibility of your life. Fortune, good or bad, is a result of what you have done in the past, manifesting in the future. In the present and in the future. So, it's good fortune, blessings. People say blessings. It's your highest ideals and aspirations. And Virgo, like I said, with the details and the sorting, the weeding out, and making things useful. Virgo is also an earth sign, so it may be that this month we start to see things materializing. Some of our wishes, our dreams, our highest ideals, our goals, start coming down into reality and start seeing them materializing. It may also be that we, especially if we're aware and paying attention, we may see the universe bringing us opportunities to do some working out the details that might come up. The universe bringing us details to sort out in regards to our goals, our highest aspirations, and so forth. So, Beyond Illusion is the number 20 in the Major Arcana, and it is the second to last card. There's 21 cards, numbers in the Major Arcana, and after Beyond Illusion comes Completion. So this card is about preparing for the completion of something before a rebirth of something new. The message of this card is to look within for what's real. It's about your perception, very much about your perception. It's about being able to realize, not just hear it and say, okay, I believe that, but being able to go within and search for truth and be able to actually realize that this is reality in our universe. The outer manifestations, what we see in the outer world, is really a manifestation of what's within and a mirror of what's within. It all starts from within. So I think this month it's going to be a good time to do this. Any retrograde thing at time, Venus or Mercury, whatever, is retrograde. It's a good time to reflect on things. There's a saying that anything that begins with re is good to do during retrograde. But relaxing, reflecting, going inward, doing meditations, things of that nature. Try and see if you can assimilate what I'm saying. If you I don't want you to just hear it and believe me because I'm saying it, is what I'm getting at. I want you to be able to go within yourself and find the truth within you. So anything that you can do to, think about this. Think about it, to meditate with it, to work it out for yourself. See if you, be observant in your life. Look at things and see if you can make connections about this truth. Do you see a connection between, what you have going on inside, your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, and what you have on the outside? Now, sometimes we get things in life that are completely different than what we think we have going on inside. And this, we have a subconscious. We have a whole subconscious of suppressed things that we are not aware of. And oftentimes that is what gets mirrored back to us because we're suppressing it so hard and so unaware of it. It's like, well, that's what you need to see because you're not able to see it any other way. So you wind up getting this in your face and seeing this in your reality, I'm doing quotation marks because the word reality is kind of limiting as it's used in its culture. But another thing with this card, message I get from this card is when you realize that truth, something that would be very good to do this month is to start connecting your inner world and your outer world in a way harmonious with the law of attraction. To take some time to go within and to visualize what you want, to imagine yourself living in what you want. Okay, so for example, if you want to move really badly, you can ask, going with the details of Virgo, ask yourself the details of what you want. What do you want to be different? What is it that you're looking for? Where do you want to move? What's the location like? What's your yard like? What's the house look like? As many details as possible. It's really better to, people think they're being, humble and, I don't want to ask for much. I just want to live somewhere where I feel more secure, where there's less noise. That's all I care about. Well, if you realize that the universe is co-creating with you, you are co-creating with the universe, and you say that to the universe, there's so many more options. Okay, there's so many options that the universe could send to you, right? So it's going to take more time for, the universe to go through and pick one out. That's what you want, or, you and the universe to go pick one out. But the more specific you are, the more details you have, the easier it is for the universe to match you with what you desire in a quick fashion. Okay, so working out the details of what you want, your vision, reassessing if it's what you really want from the level and place of moving inward. Sometimes we go after things on a shallow level and we don't realize that we go after things on a shallow level and then we get them and we're not happy, we're not satisfied. Sometimes we don't even want them anymore. It's not what we thought it would be. And I think oftentimes the reason for this is because we're keeping it on a very shallow end, and we're not getting what we truly wanted. So bringing what you truly want out into the surface, okay? It's become aware of what it is that you're truly after. You might think, I want, a beautiful house. I've been living in a house that has chipped paint all over it, and I want my house painted real nice. I want it to look nice. or I want to move somewhere that's it's a nice looking house and other people admire it. Okay, that's a shallow thing. And so what I'm talking about is go within and ask yourself why. Just keep asking yourself why. Why do I want that? Until you get back to a core human need and desire. So you might want that because you ultimately, it might be that you want other people to love and accept and respect you. You know, it might be that you want love. I know it sounds, for some people it's going to sound a little floofy, but truly our motivations are generally always, we're motivated by, wanting love, wanting safety. It's really only a few things that motivate us to do things. So going into that inner circle of what the most basic need and motivational desire is for what you want is a good idea, because once you've done that, if you keep it real, if you stay in a place of being real with yourself, you might realize that you're not as attached to the details of what you thought you wanted as before, and you might want to start working with that more core issue, that more core need, desire. You might go in, however, and find out you want love, and you want to feel good about yourself, and you also want a nice looking house, very much. That's fine. So that's another thing, exercise I'm going to recommend for this month, to do that. And the third one from this card, and this one gives me, I don't know, I'm getting like all excited about it. I feel like the message, another message with this is another really good thing to do. If you can do both of those, is to really work with making your visualizations real, your fantasies real, things you want to manifest. This is very much law of attraction stuff. So if you are completely new to law of attraction, or you want to go back and refresh yourself on it, or you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say law of attraction, start researching law of attraction first. You can watch The Secret. I do think it's a little bit shallow and limited, but there is some good information in there as well. Taking some time to do some visualization, imagining what it is that you are trying to manifest, you are trying to make happen, your goals, what you're working towards, stuff that you want, even if you haven't, started working towards it yet. Start imagining these things in more detail. Incorporate the five senses. Don't just think about, your house and what does it look like. Think about, what kind of things are you going to cook in it? What does it smell like? Or, how are you going to have it smelling? If you're going to burn incense, that kind of thing. If there's, like pine trees nearby and you can smell the pine, that kind of stuff. What does it sound like there? Use that in your visualizations. Start hearing. Do you hear the birds? What do you hear? Do you hear a river in the background? What do you hear? Bring that into your visualizations. And releasing fear to actually put yourself in there and really get into your fantasies. Don't worry about losing touch with reality. We have a natural tendency to do that kind of thing, to cling to the physical body. But if you can, do your best to just let go of that and really put yourself into your fantasy, into your imagination, into your vision, and be living it in your mind. When you do this, try to feel yourself walking to the door, feel yourself opening the doorknob, feel yourself laying on the bed. What does the bed feel like? Feel yourself washing the windows, whatever it is in this house. With whatever, I'm just using the house as an example, of course, with whatever it is that you are trying to manifest, that your visions are, your ideals and stuff. This is, this is Jupiter stuff. And enjoy it. Allow yourself to feel the sensations, the feelings that you would feel if you already had it. That's a big part of the law of attraction, manifesting, having things happen. Connect with the feelings that you were trying to feel. Move past the shallow details of I don't want. I don't want to be in a job where I feel like this, and this. Back up. Stop thinking about what you don't want. What do you want? Okay. I want to be respected. I want my boss to talk to me in this way with manners and be polite, and I want to have my own hours, and or I want to work regular hours. I want to choose what hours I work, or whatever it is, those kinds of details. That's okay, that's good to know the details, like I said before, but it's better to come from the core and go outward with the details than to go from the shallow stuff to the details in. But just get to the core if you can. Get to the core. All right, so why? Why do you want your boss to talk to you politely? Why? It might seem like a silly question, like, we'll try answering it. Just keep going back, try. Why is it important to me? Why do I want this? Why? Get to the core of it. And then from the core, think about, well, what do I want to feel like? Okay, and these details, what does it feel like when you get your vision? What does it feel like to have all of this stuff that I want? What do I want to feel like? And connect that. So I feel like it's about harmonizing the details and the feeling sensations, the feeling signatures, in a way that is useful, in a way that is going to be most useful, that's going to allow things to, Virgo, ground and manifest quicker. The energies want to provide for us. They want to bring these things to us. I see that, I feel that. But it needs help. It's like if you have a birthday coming up and your mom says to you, or your dad says to you, what do you want for your birthday? And you say, well, I don't have enough winter clothes, I don't feel good in the winter clothes I have, so I want some more winter clothes. And you don't tell them your size, you don't tell them, what kind, do you want sweaters, do you want pants, what kind of sweaters do you like, you don't tell them what colors, you don't tell them what fabrics you like. There's all of these details you don't tell them. Well, what they're going to bring back to you is less likely to be what you really are going to like and want than if you give them a thought out, detailed description of what you want. And if you're coming from a place of what you want, not what you don't want. Okay, so I'm going to try and move on from that because, wow, we're 30 minutes in already. The Four of Wands, delight. Delight is the word for this. And we've got two people dancing around with 4 torches. And it's a horse or a unicorn in the back. A unicorn in the back. So, and a great big sun. I really like this. It's a very cool card. There's a bit of a warning here. Venus is retrograde, and this card is a bit of a warning in relation to love and romance. and relationships, partner relationships, especially romantic relationships, companion spouses. And that's, romance is all well and fine. It's great. If you like romance, there's nothing wrong with that. But we're looking at things through a different sort of lens with Venus retrograde. And even perhaps when we're not, but this reading is for, when we are, so let's just keep it. I'm just going to keep it there. New relationships, especially new attractions, especially that are happening during this time. You want to be careful not to get swept off your feet and move too quickly and fall head over heels and not see things clearly. The advice is to slow down, step back, and start to question things. Romance is all well and fine. Like I said, it's great. If you like romance, there's nothing wrong with that. But relationships right now need to be based on something more substantial. Asking the questions, is there a solid basis of mutual respect? Is there a solid basis of mutual regard? Is there mutual shared values? These foundational earth-like things, they're important right now, and overlooking it, and you're apt to get led astray and hurt, and disastrous stuff may occur. Free will and all of that, make choices, do what you want, there's lessons in everything, but I feel like the message of this card is that, and this is especially true for new attractions, new relationships, new romances, things that you're just starting out with. Alright. Ants. Ants are very community-minded. Ants, everybody has their position and their role, and they go about it, and it's just little pieces all put together for the big picture of the ant community. So the message of this card, there's a few messages, but one is stop taking what we want at the expense of others. Just stop. Do your best to put the brakes on that. Treat others, and sometimes it's harder for us to do it to those closest to us because we spend the most time with them, but you want to pay attention to that. I don't want to say especially those closest to us, to indicate that it's less important for those who aren't closest to us. It's just that you kind of want to pay special attention to those closest to you and how you're treating them because of what I just said. But treating people with respect, others, and like I said in previous videos, when I say people, I'm not referring only to human beings. I'm referring to people of all species. This is an important distinction for me to make. Treating others with respect and seeing that everyone has value and a part to play, a role in the greater scheme of things. Everyone is a part of this planet. You might not understand what your or any other being's purpose is in relation to the earth, Gaia, the whole. You might not see that what they're doing matters. You might not see that they're a part of it, and a very important part of it, that what they contribute as an individual matters a great deal. But it does, you take away any being from this planet and it is less. It's, yes, life and death are natural occurring things. Right now they occur. Life replaces those who have died and so on. But there's a loss when any being dies, or is not feeling free and interacting with others, moving from their heart, really is what I'm trying to say, moving from their heart. There's a loss to the whole, to Gaia, to Earth, to the whole. And yeah, there's a compensation thing that starts going on. Earth tries to compensate, make the best of it. There's a balance thing that happens that you don't see unless you bird's eye view of it. Okay, it's like being you just can't see it unless you raise your consciousness up to bird's eye view and look at it. But it's true. So trying to understand that and realize that you have a very important role. You are here for a reason. The messages you receive in your heart, the things that you feel, it's all very important, and you don't always know to the extent of why. Okay, when I, do a video and I'm speaking from my heart and I'm putting that information out there, I have no idea who's going to read it, and listen to it. If I'm writing a blog, I have no idea who's going to read it. And I have no idea how that's going to affect their life and what they're going to go on to do with that, how that's going to alter and change the way they relate to other people. And, it continues like a chain. You have no idea. And this is all the time. This is constant. It doesn't have to be like a project, like making a video. Just the way we live our lives when we're coming from heart space. The things I say to people I run into on the street, walking to the store, that kind of thing. You have no idea how it's going to ripple. It's all like, it all ripples, The tone in my voice, somebody may perceive that and it may make them feel, uncomfortable. And then the next interaction they have when they go home to their family might be in a negative way. And, that the kid who goes to school the next morning might be in a negative mood. It just keeps rippling on and on and on. It goes on. Or, positive things and so on. And I'm not trying to tell people to be phony and be positive all the time. I'm talking about, like, coming from your true essence. When you put false stuff out there because you're fake, you say things, you're afraid, so you do things that are fake. You say things that you don't mean, that aren't true. You just agree with people because you're afraid. That has a rippling effect too, and it's one of confusion. And so this is what I see. We're all interconnected. This isn't even limited to the human species by any means. There are so many other species on this planet, and we are constantly interacting with them and affecting them from our moods and our thoughts in the ether and the energy. A lot of species are more perceptive than the human species is to that kind of energy stuff right now. You can see this with dogs, the way they behave when people leave and leave them home alone for a long time, or dogs who bark at some people but not other people, and you kind of notice that, like, it's the way the person is, the vibration they're giving off, these sorts of things. Species. But beyond that, our actions, products we're using, chemicals, the foods we're eating, and just our ecological footprint, all kinds of things. So again, a message of, like, we're interconnected, we're all connected, and don't devalue others. Don't say, oh, well, they're just spiders, they're just ants, they don't matter. If ants were to become extinct, a lot of our food wouldn't be in existence. I mean, bees too. Oh, it's just, that's just an insect, they don't matter. Well, if bees die, all our food are gone if the bees become extinct. And there are plenty of insects and bugs and animals and things that we are not aware of what their role is on this planet completely. You don't know how it will impact you or those that you are closest to in the human species. And it's horrible when we disconnect ourselves from others. It really just makes us more and more alone, feel more and more alone, when the truth is that we are so far from alone. We're all one. We are never alone. We have all of these beings that we're connected to. And so taking some time to observe this, to learn about this, to realize this and modify our behaviors is a good idea. Try to change the way you're looking at things. If you are doing this, if you're thinking, well, it's a cow, the cow doesn't matter, or it's just a squirrel, who cares that the squirrel is dead in the road. The squirrel had a family. The squirrel knew other squirrels. The squirrels care. You don't know if the birds care. It's everybody's connected. And, who are you to think that if you don't know, then it's not true? If you don't know about, a species' relationship with another species, then it doesn't exist. That's very arrogant. So, just a message to realize that you don't know all of it. You don't even know how the other beings are affecting you fully. Okay, how they're relating and affecting and impacting your life fully, and trying to become more aware and inclusive and respectful and compassionate towards everyone, understanding that everyone does have a purpose here, everyone does have worth and value here to others, and letting go of some of the nastiness I mentioned. I'm sorry to put it that way, but I'm trying not to make this video be like 3 hours long and just give the message out, and so that's how I'm putting it. Just expanding your heart. Heart chakra is a good one to work with this month, as well as the solar plexus and the third chakra. So another message with this card is looking at time and your relationship to time and speed. Time and speed are, you could say they're the same thing, you could say that they're very closely related, right? So when I say this, specifically in relation to your spirituality, your spiritual world, and the physical, all right? Less about the stuff that's mental, emotional, and more about the spiritual and the physical. Although they're all connected, so don't get too concerned with where it falls. But laziness and rushed chaos are actually two sides of the same coin. They're both out of balance. Okay. So anywhere in your life where you're being lazy, or others might perceive you as lazy, you're feeling negative emotions, guilt, you thinking that you should be more active with something, where are you being lazy? And where are you being too hurried with things? The message is really about, I think, just about all of us are doing this to some extent with something, or at least it happens now and then for us. So the message here is sorry. Go within, go to your heart space, find inner peace and truth, and what you are actually trying to achieve, realign yourself with that. Okay, all of the things that I said with this card, do this work. And cut yourself a break, right? Cut yourself a friggin' break. If you are being lazy with something, it's because you feel overwhelmed. You feel like it's too hard. You're not excited about it. You're not enthused. It's not. There are reasons for why you're being lazy. And when we start feeling guilty about it and taking on negative emotions because of it, it just makes it worse. It just lowers our vibration further. It makes it harder for us to get out of our funk. So give yourself a break. You can start with just doing some inner work, stuff that's laying around, but you're exercising your brain, your spiritual muscles. And move from there to what you're inspired to do. It's very much about finding the harmonious pace. If you're rushing, if you're chaotic, why are you doing that? Probably, maybe it's fear. You feel you have to, or else you're not going to have enough money, or else you're not going to have enough time, or else things aren't going to get done. Or else you'll have to stop and face something that you don't want to face. That you'll be, if you're not so busy and rushing around, then you'll have to feel your emotions deeper and you don't want to face them. I'm just guessing, but there's reasons why we do both of these things. But the message for this month is to find harmony and balance with it. And it's really easy to get off, balance and out of harmony with it. Spiritual stuff, yes, you can be rushed and chaotic rush with that, thinking oh, I want to be, a master. I want to be a master at meditation, and I want it now. Or I really want to learn how to do divination, and you're rushing along, just working really hard at it. You're rushing. Slow down if you're rushing and in a state of chaos. If you're being lazy, take steps to pull yourself out of it. Find the middle ground and try to relax more. Because we've got Jupiter doing this thing, moving into Virgo, where it's trying to stabilize things and do what needs to be done to bring our highest ideals, bring good fortune, all of that down into the earth plane, weed out what's crap that we've been attached to and think we want that we don't actually want, help us find the things that would really make us happy, the things that are our highest ideals, that we've been wearing goggles, or not goggles, but we've been wearing a blindfold when we're around and haven't realized it. We've been suppressing things and all of that. It's trying to sort it all out, get it all done, and allow us to enjoy these things. Love, again, I would say, appreciate what you have within yourself as well. Self-love and things that you've already manifested. If you're in a relationship, what do you appreciate about it? But don't get blindsided. Make sure you're looking at the important Capricornian, Virgo, the earth, the earth plane responsible things. You know, what do we have common values? The foundation, that's the word I was looking for. The foundational stuff. Don't let romance be the foundation in new relationships. Don't swept off your feet and fall on your head. And really questioning your concept of reality. Are you being rigid and closed-minded about what is real and what is not real, and therefore, you know, limiting yourself? Oh, it's just my imagination, you know, my daydreams. That's not reality, though. Well, you're right. But if you thought the other way, you'd also be right. It's that thing of if you think you're right, you're right. If you think you're wrong, you're wrong. Forget how that phrase goes, but same thing. So this could be, you know, some exploring. Uranus is getting ready to do some cool stuff right now, so there might be some Uranus into this reading as well. Uranus is unexpected stuff. It's you know, blue moon stuff. It's surprises, innovative. Definitely get a strong sensation from this card, though. Question your rigidness and where you're being closed-minded about what is reality. I mean, we all come into the world as children, and we are taught reality from fantasy. So how much of what you live by is actually somebody else's belief that you have adopted rather than your own? It's only yours truly if you have took the time to investigate it, see if you really believe it, investigate it, listen to your heart, be open-minded, questioned it. It's not yours if you haven't questioned it and gone deep. So that's not to limit you. That's actually like to liberate you. This is very much about helping you become more liberated and be able to enjoy pleasures and good fortune in life. Don't forget others. Don't forget everyone is important to the whole. Everyone is important to Source, or God, Goddess, Gaia, whatever you want to assign this role of what's, bigger than you. Whatever you want to assign this role to. Okay, it can be, the earth, it can be Gaia, it can be God or Goddess, it can be Source, or something else potentially as well. But every being on this planet was born for a reason, was put here for a reason, and is important to the whole, to Source. So careful not to belittle people and think that they're insignificant, because no one's insignificant. No. And still a good time to be reevaluating your values and whether your values are in alignment with your actions and how you're living your life. Still a good time to be enjoying the summer, but having it be in balance with relaxation and just harmonizing these energies. We've got the color yellow, so happiness, joy, empowerment, but it's not that fiery, just go energy. It's, like I said, the solar plexus and the third chakra. The third chakra is about your your self-esteem, how you feel about yourself, your true empowerment. When it's healthy, when it's out of balance or unhealthy, it can result in like manipulations and things like that, because you're desperate and grasping for ways to feel powerful. But those are fake things. That's fake empowerment. That's not real empowerment. True empowerment comes from within. Everything comes from within. So, really good time to work on your third chakra, solar plexus, heart chakra. I feel, so if you want to do meditations with that, any other exercises and things that you know of to do that, gemstone therapies and so on. If you have more questions, you'd like to know more things I've discovered to work with those areas, please leave a comment question below. I'm sorry this is so long again, guys. I feel I kind of rambled, but please leave any comments you'd like to. Let me know if it was helpful or not, what you thought of this reading. Alright, that's going to conclude it. Thanks for letting me read your cards. I really enjoy doing it. And I will see you again. I will see myself again making the video next month.